There are a ton of content management systems out there. So why, in 2022, would you go for WordPress? Well, howdy. My name is Sanjay. I'm a UI UX designer and developer based out of Franklinton, North Carolina. And in this video, I want to talk all about content management systems and why WordPress might be good for you to learn as a developer in 2022. So if you're a junior developer and you're just getting started, WordPress, in my opinion, is very good for you to learn when you're just getting started. Now, if you're a mid to senior level developer, I still believe that the traditional WordPress approach is pretty good for you to learn. Now, you don't need to get too far into the details. It's just good for you to have a general understanding of how it works. So, what is a content management system, or a CMS? A CMS is just that. It manages your content. It's a piece of software, sometimes proprietary, sometimes not proprietary, sometimes open source, sometimes paid. And it helps you to manage your content and publish it online, or sometimes even to publish it in an app. I love the way that Kinsta puts this definition. They said, a content management system is a tool that helps you build a website without needing to write all the code from scratch, or even know how to code at all. You see, a content management system is ultimately for your clients, right? So they could come to you and ask you to publish new pieces of content on their site. If you're writing this, let's say, from scratch with HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. The problem with that is that it's not really super feasible as a website grows to solely rely on the developer to create all of the changes. So we developed content management systems a while ago to help solve that issue, to create a piece of software that will either decouple or couple together the front end and the back end and allow you as a developer to do your job and allow the non-technical writers to do their job. Along your travels, you'll likely run into words like tightly coupled, decoupled, loosely coupled, monolithic. You'll run into all these types of words. So let's just clear those up real quick together. So a decoupled system, basically it takes the front end and the back end and it untangles them. It doesn't allow those to be bound together. So this typically would be if you had a CMS like Dado CMS that has its own database layer, it has its own API layer, and then all you need to do as a developer is create the front end. So I can spin up an XJS app and I can write the front end and really just do API calls to my back end. And though that's a content management system that is decoupled. Now, what about a monolithic system or a tightly bound system? You see, out of the box, WordPress comes as this monolithic app. And some people use that kind of in a negative connotation. I kind of use it more arbitrarily. A monolithic app is just one solid app. It handles all the routing for you. It handles all the database functionality for you. It handles the front end for you. And in WordPress's case, in the traditional sense, the back end creates the front end. It's tightly bound. So when you look at the PHP files that are in your theme template, a lot of times what you'll see is it's actually creating the HTML. It's generating that HTML as we go. There are a lot of disadvantages to having a monolithic app, right? A lot of people will point to the speed of the application. Some people will point to the complexity of the application, but I really feel like there are a lot of advantages, especially when you're first starting out as a developer. There's a lot of advantages to going the traditional WordPress route. First up, I would say that if you're just starting as a developer, a traditional WordPress approach is really great because it gives the overall project a much leaner budget and allows for your clients to not have to pay a whole lot to get up and running. Second, since WordPress powers almost half the internet, and since most of those existing WordPress websites are built on the traditional WordPress approach, I'd say it would behoove you as a developer just starting out or even a mid-level developer to understand the application architecture of WordPress. It's bound to happen. You're going to have a client that comes to you and says, hey, can you fix my WordPress site? There's a plugin doing something crazy. There's a theme doing something wild. Help me here. And it's very likely that you're going to have someone come to you and say, hey, can you build me a WordPress site? It'd be really great if you know how to do that already. Next, I'd say that since WordPress is a free and open source application, it's a really great choice for your clients as they start their new website design. The only yearly fees are hosting and domain, and beyond that, they don't really have to do much if they want to get up and running. Next, I would say that it's important for you to understand how much it's going to cost your client for you to maintain their site. It is a lot more attractive if you can provide them a solution where you design and develop the site and then hand it over to them and let them run with it. Give them the keys to that new car, let them drive off the lot, and let it be done. Now, it is nice as a developer to have recurring income, and there are strategies to do that with WordPress. It's not as if you just hand over a site and it's all over. But I would say that WordPress in itself, as it comes out of the box, is a really great choice for something for your clients to use that is not incredibly expensive in the future. And finally, I would say that since WordPress is so quick to spin up and it's so cost effective for your clients, it's a great way to just get projects started. So get that MVP out there, just get a project started. And if you do want to go the headless route or that decoupled route, then sure, you can access those API routes still within the WordPress application. So you've got a lot of flexibility moving forward. Now, before you berate me about how I'm against headless architecture, how I'm against decoupled frameworks, let me just say that I'm all for those frameworks. In fact, I'm currently building applications in Next.js and in Data CMS together, right, as a decoupled application. What I will say is that in my experience as a developer, it's been so incredibly helpful for me to know WordPress because there are just a lot of clients out there who already have WordPress sites that just need a little bit of help, that need a little bit of assistance, and you can help them. You can get started, get your feet wet, get that experience in. And that's why I love WordPress. It's super easy to get started. It's easy for your clients to use, and it's a great opportunity for you to learn and grow as a developer. So I'd say that WordPress in 2022 is definitely worth your time. You don't have to go all out. Just get the basics of WordPress, understand the application architecture, and you'll be better prepared to work with clients and to create headless experiences in the future. Honestly, this is the series I wish I would have had when I first started developing sites. And I hope it will help you get to your next level in development as well. That's all for now. Thanks so much, and I'll see you in the next video.